and Brad, the two most famous physical therapists on the internet.
Hi, I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Aren't we really decked out here today?
Yeah,
Brad?
you bet.
Okay, Brad, we're going to talk about Kinesio Tape. Is it a scam, a fad? Is it hype? Does it work?
Right.
So these are some of the questions we're going to try to answer today.
So we're talking Kinesio Tape.
Kinesio Tape. I'll put the spelling on the screen here.
You can get this from a therapist, from a trainer. You can go to the pharmacy and buy it right off the shelf now.
Sure, and you can go on, obviously, on a website and get it yourself too. Now, it's a brightly colored tape, which one should I use here, Brad?
That one.
This one? It's a brightly colored tape that is hypoallergenic, and it's a cotton, made out of a cotton, and it actually, normal athletic tape doesn't really stretch.
Right, it's mechanically sewn.
Yeah, this will stretch 40 to 60%, so it'll actually double in size just with the stretch.
But only one direction, because if you go this way, there is no stretch.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that.
Of course. I've been doing my homework, Bob.
All right, good. This tape was, you probably first maybe noticed it in 1988, you said, at the Olympics?
Well, that's when it was widely noticed. It was invented in the 70s by a chiropractor in Japan. But yeah, in 88, they had it in the Olympics and got a lot of attention.
Yeah, they donated it to 58 countries. And the problem with the tape is that they initially claimed it treated everything from shin splints to sciatica, lymphedema, increased strength. And to me, Brad, whenever anything comes out and they start claiming that it treats everything, I'm skeptical.
Sure.
All right. Anyway, and so was an organization out of the UK, United Kingdom. It's called the Advertising Standards Authority. They actually sued the company that was making, one of the companies that was making this, and saying they can no longer use the claims that they were saying that they could treat. And now you look, and I had trouble finding out what they actually even treat, because they don't make hardly any claims now.
Right,
right. So, but with looking at the studies, the main line to understand is that there has not been there's been a minimum of high quality studies to support the use of Kinesio Tape. A minimum of high quality studies. There's a fair amount of studies, not a lot, but there's a fair amount of studies that kind of go back and forth.
Sure.
I went on PubMed and looked myself, and yeah, there was a lot of studies that showed that it increased grip strength, like if you used it on the right muscles.
Yep.
Then there were studies that showed it didn't increase grip strength. Almost the same type of taping on the extensor.
Sure.
Here. There were studies. None of the studies showed that it improved proprioception.
Okay.
Some of the studies, for pain relief, it did work for that. Some it didn't. So it just kind of went back and forth. So there's just no definitive answer as to whether or not it really does improve, does the things it says.
Sure. As you can probably see, Bob and I don't use this tape in the clinic. I did some research on it, and the theory of it, it stretches and it puts a little wrinkle in the skin all across the surface of the skin, which increases the lymphatic flow and more circulation under the skin, therefore better circulation, better healing, better, everything.
Right, and sometimes it's used for support.
Right.
But
not like
the athletic tape.
Right, different kind of support.
And I think, one of the things, what turned me off is I went to a course. I've gone to a couple courses, and one of the things the instructor was showing me is, okay, somebody's arm was up this high, and they go, now we'll try taping it, now watch. And it went up the same height. I swear to God, it went up the same. She goes, see how that improved? I was like, no, it didn't improve. It's the same height. So, but believe me, there's a lot of articles, a lot of very good therapists out there that will support this.
Right.
Should you use it? Personally, I wouldn't use it on any serious injuries, like a rotator cuff tear or a meniscus tear or something along that lines. Or if you had an Achilles tendon tear, I certainly wouldn't use it for that. But first off, it does not harm anything. They have
as long as you're not allergic to the adhesive, there's no harm.
And it's hyperallergenic. It does stay on better than regular tape.
Sure.
They pretty much have proven that. It's more comfortable. It is fashionable. That's why all the bright colors.
Right. When you see football players and Olympic athletes, you got to figure, hey, this must work, or they wouldn't use it.
Right.
But remember, those same athletes are very superstitious. That's why when they run out of the locker room, they'll hit that, that sign on the wall to get good luck. And when they put that tape on,
yeah, they feel like they're going into battle and they're doing everything they can.
Right.
And there's definitely a placebo effect. And you know what? A placebo effect, whether or not it's an effect or not, it still works.
you better believe
So,
it. Yeah.
If an athlete feels better putting the tape on, it certainly would work. And the final thing is, Brad, you had one final use for it, right?
Well, I'm just going to say, if you want to use it and it works for you, go ahead and use it. If your therapist likes it and you want to use it, I'm not going to say not use it, but there isn't a lot of studies. But if you take this as one for sure thing, and don't take this as an insult if you're a serious taper, but if I got Bob here, and this is where I'm going to put it on him. Okay, Bob. Say it.
Watching.